Iceland has changed quite a lot. The tourism scene, we can say, has changed quite a lot. I mean, in 2010, or before 2010, Iceland was, was a destination of just 3 peak months during summer, and not the rest of the year. Then we had this famous volcanic eruption in 2010 that stopped all air traffic. That is from where we then started to say, okay, how are we going to build tourism, right? And I'm proud to say that today Iceland is known as a year-round destination. Iceland is sometimes the destination of contrasts. You have the winter with darker skies and northern lights come out, and then winter activities. And then you have the summer that gives us 24-hour daytime, and the activities that come with that. And then we have strong infrastructure around the country, offering activities, to everybody's, I think everybody can find something to their liking, and hotels around the country, and stable jobs with, when you manage to create tourism that is a year-round tourism and also around the country, and Iceland is a rather big country, that is sustainable tourism, and that is what we have aimed for.
I visited Iceland in October not long ago. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see the northern lights because the weather was not that great. You have been talking about how it started. I think tourism in Iceland has started to surge since the 2010s, and then in 2024, the number of visitors, foreign visitors to Iceland stood at around 2.3 million, and that was probably about 6 times the population of Iceland itself. Now, how do you think that the country can cope with so many tourists?
Well, the thing is, since 2018, this has more or less been the number of visitors. And in 2010, we had around 500,000 just visiting during these 3 months. Today is around 2.2, 2.3 a year on year-round basis. And what we saw during this time period of more visitors, we saw that almost 65% was off-season in the growth, meaning we were not seeing that much growth in those 3 peak months. But our tourism strategy is focused on kind of 4 pillars, right? So it's quality over quantity. So we're not focusing that much on the number. It's of course the environment that we want to have there, our nature for generations to come, and that is very important. So we also inform our visitors a lot about responsible tourism, and that is staying longer. We have fragile nature, to be respectful of that and help us keeping it that way. Like we had the Icelandic pledge that we introduced in 2017, which was like an online pledge of being a responsible visitor. And they became our, those people, they became our ambassadors also for responsible tourism in many ways.
I'm just very curious about that. It's a conundrum, I think, for many countries to make sure that visitors can be responsible guests. I mean, how do you do that? And what do we do to make sure that people can, follow the rules to protect the environment at the end of the day?
I feel people that visit Iceland are, very informed anyway about this, and I think we all are. I think we're always more and more enlightened about the world, and that you want to give something back rather than maybe take away.
Let's also talk about the Chinese visitors. They don't make up a big share at this point compared to European and American tourists. How do you see the Chinese markets, and what are we doing to attract more of them to come over? Are they picking up?
Yes, they are. So before COVID, China was our 5th biggest market, source market, with around 110,000 guests. Of course, COVID, put a hold to that, but we've seen it gradually come back, and we're almost back to pre-COVID numbers. Of course, the Chinese, traveler, they visit Iceland more off-season, so they're a valuable visitor for our message, meaning the year-round destination.
Off-season, so they usually come in the winter?
Yeah,
oh,
because
right.
of the northern lights. And, we have, of course, we have some content in Mandarin, and always more and more. We've used social media. We do trade shows or workshops there, to have this conversation also with the travel trade in China. And then also, of course, tailor our message to, what they see as something unique in Iceland, the wellness scene, Northern Lights, our local cuisine and culture. So this is, and I think the Chinese market is going to grow for Iceland. We're a very well connected destination flight-wise. We have around 26 airlines flying in winter and then more all year round, destinations around the world. So I think we're just going to see, and we want to continue welcoming Chinese guests.
How do you see the future of tourism in Iceland?
I see a bright future.
Let's say in 5 or 10 years?
Yes, I think this sustainable growth that we've been seeing since 2018, I think that is going to continue, and we will, because it's gradual growth. It's not like the growth that we had between 2013 and 18. I see us, creating more experiences, different experiences. But in the end, Iceland is 90% of those that come to Iceland come because of the nature, because it is a magnificent nature. But we will continue to inform our guests about being a responsible guest and helping us keeping our nature intact for generations to come. That they have more kind of conversation with the locals and feel that that they go home with the kind of feeling that that they were of course welcomed, but also not only the beautiful pictures, but also the feeling of I know more about this country and I want to return. That is, I see it going in a good way, in a sustainable, regenerative way, moving forward.